Alright, I guess we're
Okay.
starting.
We're starting, yes. Once again, Prism as Jinrai and PIGA as NSF. Already PIGA with two recons, 2 assaults, and 1 support. Already swapping weapons, already probably Mata. No, not even Mata, it's Grass with the super, going straight into the basement, where the ghost is. Let's see if we can already get early encounters here. We already got a drop on Mercenary.
Ooh, nice nade from the second mercenary.
The second Mercenary. Not very loyal, those mercenaries. But yeah, PIGA having the stronghold over the ghost, picking up the ghost, moving in, probably trying to go out from early tap here. If it wouldn't be down in bananas. That was kind of expected from PIGA, very aggressively pushing in. Trying to overwhelm Prism, who probably are not that well played in yet. But probably a very similar team composition on both teams. 2 assaults, 2 recons.
And 1 support. And, there's a trade between the 2 teams. It seems Zippy's holding their spawn. Grass has the ghost now, who's... I think he might be able to capture the ghost with Zippy holding the parking lot.
But there's Waffle Time closing into him. Mercenaries also already at the ballpark. Probably to see a shootout near the copy shop.
Alright, Zippy got Waffle Time.
Grass very low, but that fire lured out Mercenary and got Zippy the kill. And we got a disconnect. Let's hope it's a technical one. Okay, it seems like Hajduk reconnected from France. Just in time to respawn. And we already see Prism becoming a bit more defensively, now basing themselves around 3 assaults. Where PIGA is still very much closing in, taking ground very early. Yet taking the firefight towards Prism, who is still very much in their own spawn area. CP very much in the open, near the cars, but they get the drop on them, on the balustrade itself.
Squirrel got 2 picks on the balustrade.
Getting even outflanked with Zippy moving in the back, unnoticed to the other Prism members. With OKK and Dichibu even going down.
Alright, it seems like Zippy and another teammate are going behind the flank and basement.
Yeah, moving coordinate together, and if PIGA does this right now, they can even get a ghost cap now. If OKK is back at the spawn though, got the drop on Zippy. But unfortunately was surprised by Grass. And it seems like PIGA has a very strong lead on a map that was actually chosen by Prism themselves. So it will be interesting if Prism, if they're already so far back at the beginning, if they can turn this around, maybe even on the second map. Or maybe they can turn it around, because now we see PIGA becoming even more aggressive. 3 recons, very early hopping over the street part. Smile even laying a trap near Banana. Whereas Prism stays very defensively, stays in their corners, trying to find spots to ambush them.
As Zippy's flanking up through a clothing shop.
Going out with a nade. It's lucky. But very unlucky against Waffle Time. Seems like Prism has the advantage here in this situation. Sticking together. To get a drop on PIGA players, poking a bit, getting a bit too cocky. Getting their numbers down.
Miterzone's moving through basement. I don't believe he'll be able to salvage this.
Maybe can even get a backup if Prism is not careful at guarding the ghost, but we can also see Hajduk picking up the ghost, moving towards street where his team members are, probably already seeing that Marta is closing in through the shop to him. But Marta decides against it, decides actively blocking the street, and he got the drop on exit. Now it should be pretty obvious where he is. He probably even gets flanked by Dichibu. And we have a Milso battle here.
Ooh, nice pick with the Milso.
But Dichibu closes into his position. Now this is dangerous, and he got by Dichibu. Very nice play by Prism, sticking together. But in the end, you noticed how everybody started going out on his own, probably hungry for the kill, getting revenge for the previous rounds, and they got dropped by Marta. Let's see if Prism can hold this up, staying together, getting the PIGA members down, and using this to their advantage, even picking up the ghost.
PIGA's running with 3 recons, while Prism is running with 3 assaults.
If they can block that.
Zippy rushing through basement and getting the drop on Waffle Time.
If Prism is not careful, they're getting overrun from the basement. But they notice that where they're coming from. Prism very much still in their spawn, playing very defensively here. Getting kind of besieged by PIGA from all sides. From the basement. The PIGA players have retreated a bit to more defensible positions. Trying to lure Prism out a bit. Getting a drop on one of their players. But Prism doesn't have that. Prism stays quite defensively. Maybe they will take up the ghost here. All players are damaged besides Grass. And they got the ghost. Maybe Grass moving out at the basement. Getting dropped. Now it's the time for the other players.
Smile and Miterzone are on the balustrade.
Hajduk pushing in alone through the subway. It's probably not fast. If Marta wants to stop him, he can easily. He has the mobility, and he's just jumping in. Now that's very dangerous, because Hajduk is very much alone in the subway. There would be an opportunity for OKK to actually move in and ambush Martason, but he doesn't do it. He stays defensively, and actually goes down into the subway. Probably where Martason anticipates him to be, but he gets the drop. Nicely done. Prism actually really noticeable, working together and getting an advantage through that. Keeping it interesting. But we can also see that PIGA getting the first assaults with their MX into play, now playing more around assaults with disadvantages of firepower.
With 4 assaults, 1 support, it's a pretty defensive or offensive. They can play pretty dynamically.
We barely see any more recons. There's only 1 recon on PIGA anymore. Mostly assaults now. And that grenade was a bit unfortunate.
Trade between Zippy and OKK.
Big battle in the shopping mall, basically. Trades happening left and right. But Prism seems to get advantages in this position, with Matason being left in the subway close to the Ghost. Could be an advantageous opportunity for Digiboot to flank him through the spawn. Matason in advantageous position, but will he get flanked here?
We just might. Oh, and Matason gets the drop on Daijibu.
Very impressive. Kind of like he had a sixth sense for that, or he heard Daijibu. So everybody in PIGA is now Sergeant, while we have still only one Sergeant in Prism. Now that still gives PIGA a definite advantage here. And PIGA going for an early Ghost carry here, with a Ghost that close.
And a bit unlucky for Grass to run into 2 assaults at the same time.
Oh, what a nade by Mata. Getting waffle time, kind of timed. Now PIGA good going very aggressively, utilizing their firepower and having the Ghost. Let's see how Exocat reacts from this. He might be too late. PIGA can cap on him if he doesn't watch out. I don't think he can do it. Yeah, it's
and
way
it looks
too
like they
late.
got the cap. Nicely done.
That's devastating. Now PIGA has 4 lieutenants. With 8 possible wins for NSF still to go for PIGA, this could be a decided match already with this. Even now we see one player on PIGA with the SRS. Probably going for this early domination of the street. Yeah, it's smarter.
It looks like PIGA has no supports, while Prism has 2 supports, which might be a difficult challenge.
But John Cass is AFK. He just had to reconnect. Maybe he still gets there in time, can play. But he's connecting again, so...
Ah, yeah, John just crashed.
He's already reconnected.
Exocet dropping Grass on Subway.
You see Prism very carefully trying to get the Subway. But why do they even want to be there? I mean, they can now get capped on if they're not careful.
Smile going after the Ghost Carrier, but hanging back for some reason.
If DG would move, they would do this very smart. Although there is the SRS still in the Smile out getting overrun there on the mall. But there's still Mata near the Ghost Cap with the SRS. Getting Haiduke. Haiduke moving very uncarefully, trying to get a better position, but moving right into his line of fire. The other player still holding back. Still assembling around the Ghost Carrier, which is not recommended in such a situation, because this is where Mata will expect you to be. Mata utilizing the distance here with his SRS.
25 seconds on the clock. They're gonna have to. They're tying this out. They aren't gonna push.
If they don't use this advantage, it's very unfortunate for Prism. They have the players currently. They might not get capped anymore, but it's only one player with another. Yeah, now they're pushing, and they got the drop on him. Very unfortunate for PIGA though to lose John Cass to such a technical fault. But
Poggers.
no. Also, Prism gets DMXs.
No, we're just waiting for both the teams to unpause.
Yeah, to unpause. We have a technical pause because of both teams.
So PIGA is winning 5-3. Do you think they'll be able to take the first match point?
I'm not sure yet. It seems like Prism still holds on tight. Okay, the round is live. It has started with the right command, thanks to Sippy. I think Prism still has it in it. Especially now they have more MXs in their team. They get the additional firepower. They might still have one assault with the super, but even the super can be utilized pretty well on this map. Especially if you go for subway or so. And we definitely will see a first subway encounter very soon. Now Sippy getting
okay, got chafed by that grenade with only 14 health left.
And Sippy getting 2 drops on Prism players and also getting the support under fire. Seems like they're in the advantageous position, having cornered Prism here in the subway. And okay, finally gets the revenge for Sippy after Sippy has been on such a long rampage. Very aggressively. And okay, even getting John Cass even though he had the super. But now PIGA had the ghost, dropped it again. Unfortunate nade by Dichibu. Marta
Warzone getting
ambushing
the drop.
Seems like 1 player against 3. No, 2. I have to correct myself. Dichibu playing defensively here. All still having full health. Getting the ghost. Do they force Dichibu out? And they do. Seems like PIGA really takes up this lead then now. 2 more rounds if they have it in the box, the first match.
Which team did pick Bellstreet?
That was Prism. That was Prism's choice.
Ooh, that does not bode well for the next map.
You never know though. Rise is a very popular map. Many players know it very well. The Dust 2 of Neotokyo.
Yeah, it is. Next to Oilstein.
So I think there's still a hope for Rise. I mean, so oftentimes teams are surprised by the new maps, new custom maps on this tournament, which, for example, Prism banned Snowfall for this reason. But with Rise, there's still everything possible. Okay, PIGA taking up the ghost, hooking in. Prism having the player advantage here currently. But now it's 2 against 2. If they're not careful, they might move into them and cap on them. I think they drop the ghost right now.
Except pushing in through subway. Back to buy
each other. Everybody in the mall basically.
Exocet just barely missing Zippy behind him.
And it's 1 against 1. both closer to each other than they would anticipate. But John Carr's very low at 2 health. But he still has to face a full health support. Can the A13 drop the support quickly enough to make a difference in this match? Also with Exocat playing very defensively around the Ghost. John Carr's trying to get into good position here. And they nearly missed each other. Few seconds later and this match would probably be already over.
Looks like John and Exocet are going to miss each other entirely this round if they don't get it closer soon.
Very, very well possible. Probably John Carr's knowing that he's so low, but Exocat probably scared about the previous sounds of the AA. Oh, that's a risky move. You might just get him, call him out, and fire on him. No, that's a tie. That's a tie. Very unfortunate for Exocat being such an advantageous position, but also kind of smart of John to tie it out being so low. Even outflanking him nearly now. It stays interesting. Prism has a fighting chance. They're not out yet. Even with their huge disadvantage of having these very high pings currently. I think this has to be acknowledged. That can make an impact. If no, you're not used to it. PIGA already moving the Ghost, directing his team members to flank Prism players through the back. But not very effectively. Prism out at taking the advantages, staying defensively, being in good positions and shooting them out.
They're holding pretty tight positions in Banana. They might need to move around it.
Also pushing now through basement with smokes. Also PIGA is cornered in this spawn. This is kind of typical what we see on this map. Teams getting cornered on this spawn here, not moving out much. Taking the and getting the fight straight to them. All 3 assaults of PIGA staying very close to their spawn, barely moving out. Whereas it seems like Prism doesn't want to move much further inside there. Smile getting the drop on Hayduk. Now it's 3 against 3, rather equal. Exocat on John Carr's, while Smile runs out of bullets. 2 against 2.
Grass getting well time. Now Exocet's moving out of... No, he's going back into the subway. I think he's still trying to make that push.
I mean, this is usually a good position just to pick up the Ghost to see where the enemy positions are, but both teams are playing it safe. That's very unfortunate, I have to say, Dano. Such a defensive play. Both
they
being
aren't
scared.
Using their... Yeah.
Not enough coordination to really push in. Just covering both areas, probably being afraid of maybe PIGA pushing with Ghost. But also
and that's another tie.
That's another tie. Very unfortunate for our viewers. Very sorry about that. But it seems like and we see first insults being slung against each other. Very uncivilized. But that these ties were to the advantage of PIGA. It's now the match point. You can unfortunately use the ties strategically for that.
I didn't know this was an all hammer, no sickle game. It seems like Prism's moving into the street to get to the Ghost, but it looks like...
Maybe they really want to stay aggressively now, having seen that it will be the match point. They would have to win 5 matches in a row to make that well. It's not even possible anymore, but at least
Looks
getting
like
more.
Hajduk accidentally lit OKK for a little bit of
Charlie
health,
Cast
which
being in such an advantageous position and not making it. Also pushing through the smoke. The disadvantage here with the support, using the smoke to block his own friendly, making it hard for him to support him. Grass on waffle time. Grass overviewing the mall.
Smile overlooking the courtyard. A bit afraid to peek out, but Martyrdon backed him up.
And Grass made good use of this cover here. I think this round is over now, having already this ties. It did say match point, right?
It said match point.
Yep. Okay, that means we will now change to good old Rise.